Hello there, welcome to my channel. And for those of you who are new, again, I'm Raven as usual. And I thought, oh yeah, my face is going to itch like F now. I thought that Hail Shiva, the picture in the back there, it kind of is very similar to the mountains that I escape to when I feel enough is enough, where I come from in Norway. And it is also very similar to the place I am actually, like nature-wise. The cabin is not that cool, but inside it could look like it's kind of like that. Cute dogs, so I thought, you know, we need some inspiration to, I need a home. I need a home. So for those of you who are interested in working with extraterrestrials or finding out a little bit more about your star lineage, I don't know how to do that yet, but I'm learning. I learned the tarot cards, the Lenormand cards, the Kip cards, Gypsy cards, and now learning the art of channeling, which I kind of already knew a lot about. It's hot here, fuck. And so I had a very long live session today where I explained to you what exactly I'm going to do. I have opened another channel, and slowly I'm going to move some of you space asses over there. For those of you who, you know, I myself, Battlestar Galactica, Farscape, it's like, and you remember Firefly and Babylon 5, people with strange heads. I've been a science fiction fan since I was a child, and now that all this talk about Earth is shifting, many of us are fighting, not really sure whether or not we deserve, or if we can stay away from our reptilian compulsions to feed the body with certain substances that is not good for you, that have a low vibration and might calcify the pineal gland. And you know, someone complained about that we cannot eat meat because plants also have feelings. Well, let me tell you this. We know that plants have feelings. We know that plants can see, hear, and that they can communicate with each other. They can love you and they can hate you. This is scientifically proved, apparently, and I've seen a few reports about it. And if you check on YouTube, you can find also plants singing, actually how they sound, if you connect them to a sound system. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. So the thing is that the main reason that you want to ascend is that you can't increase your density or start calcifying yourself. So the reason is not just about the abuse of the animal industry and how the meat industry is destroying our planet and taking up a lot of food which could have gone to hungry humans. Apparently there's a big politic behind that. But a chunk of meat in general have a very low vibration because it's very dense. And because we are so similar to them, it is almost so this is just me being neutral. I'm not headhunting people who eat chicken here. I myself have a few things, you know, the book I have here is covered in leather, so I'm no Jesus either. So the reason that we say when we're talking about ascension and, you know, start with the plant-based diet and it's because the vibration of just like that insect flying in here is higher. It's, if you can feel it. I once felt a flower. I was, of course, tripping balls, but I was 16 years old, and that was the first time I could actually hear a flower scream in pain because it was dying. I picked it. I was the murderer. And after that, I've thought twice when I pick flower, and I said to my boyfriend at that point that if you're going to give me roses, I prefer the ones that have a pot, so the roots is still intact. Maybe it's extreme, maybe it's crazy, but we are different. So we are sentiment on different areas. This is a very soft spot for me. Soft spot. So if you want to boost your vibration, first of all, you need to stay away from liquids and things that lowers your vibration and damage your body. But there are belief systems, they exist and they seem to work, where the individual is so convinced, you know, and one example was one guy smoking and eating all the shit and crap you can get in the world, but he was so firm in his belief system that he was a strong man, he would overlive everyone, and he was super healthy. And you have people who are super healthy, who are boom. And then you have people like me who treated the body like a fucking piece of junk. I tried to repair myself with drinking water from copper and putting tulsi inside and crystal. But the thing is, it's all here. It is all your mindset, your belief system and all this. But if you're going to talk about waveforms and vibrations, then absolutely a plant have a more light density than a cow. And so although they both feel fair, if you're going to kill them, the density of the plant is still more light. And why you want to eat them alive, which is maybe not cool, when you start to become a light being and you can sense and you can start communicating with plants and flowers, you really don't want to kill them. And that's why we see that people who advance more and more, they actually eat less and less, and they find alternative more and more. They become more and more creative in what they consume. They become very experimental. And I saw a picture today that was a depiction of exactly what I say. One first with all the meat, with the swine and the brown sauce and the sausages and the bear. You know, I know a lot of people in Norway who eat this, and I think they are very healthy and that this is healthy food. Then we have the vegetarian community, like myself. You know, I can throw in an egg now and then, just, you know, depending on how drained I feel from the exercise. But I feel now I feel very ready to kind of cut out that part as well. And then you have the raw food, and you see this picture on this guy. The food is getting smaller and more different, and in the end he's just have this glass in front of it with some liquid. And there are people here in the world who have survived on they don't drink, they don't eat. And so in the end you become a breatharian, and your food will become, I don't know, the sun, bubbles, who knows? I'm not an expert in the field, but people who complain about, oh yeah, but the flowers also have feelings. Well, it's not always about that. It's about the density and vibrations of what you have. So even if the flower felt fair when you had to eat it, it's still more light in its density. Also, the vibration are much higher. And so when you consume this, especially while they are alive, you become one with this entity. So this is not some channel where we're going to promote eat this, don't eat that. It's just some points of view which we pick up on our way. Okay, so when it comes to me, I eat a lot of junk food, but it is at least for me, it's vegetarian, but it's junk food vegetarian. And there are a lot of people who are enemies of vegetarians out there because, like, they think that all vegetarians are attacking the carnivores. I don't waste my time on that, but what I do care about is how you treat the animal. And if you choose to eat it, that's on your karma, not mine. And I wish I knew more about this when I was young. Now that we have talked a little bit about food and how to prepare for your I have a few of these Shiva tridents around. We're talking about your ascension process, and you're looking around and you're like, where is 5D Earth? Have I not deserved 5D Earth? Well, 5D Earth, the very construction of 5D Earth is inside of you. So you need to have less expectations. And I would go for the Bashar formula, absolutely. No thank you. Someone's sending me no thank you and I haven't asked them anything. That's weird. Okay, this world is weird. Anyway, after watching Bashar for a while and watching people channeling all sorts of things, I've had difficulty of thinking in what degree, into what degree are they actually channeling that entity versus what Jung have to say on this versus your own oversoul, your own over you, or your own subconsciousness. And I've seen a lot of the things that I did when I did the Ouija board was many things came from my own subconsciousness. But I was not the one who removed the glass. I had my hand on the glass, but there was something that made it move, that basically pushed it in different directions. So we are going to experiment. Like I said, my third channel will be will be based on my Ashtarian background. We all like to label ourselves as something special. You're all special. We all come with different abilities, and we are going to channel who you are, what you're doing here, and there might be specific messages. I'm not going to pick one specific. Next time, pick one specific. We are going to use the dices, and you yourself are going to connect to them, and I am going to help you. And before we do that, we just take one moment to invite the energies and ask for protection. Okay. So first message. Note that although I say, let's say Gemini or Aries, it's not necessarily so. You can have Aries moon. Okay. So feel how it connects to you. I will also bring up things I see. And I will get some help from the tarot. So you can feel that, okay, that actually applies to me. So the first message will go to those who have a background in the Pleiadian system. Like myself, I have my South Node in Taurus, which is situated by the Pleiadian system. Okay. And what do we know about the Pleiadians? I don't know a lot about them. I just know they are our far cousins. So if you are a Taurus or you have an attraction to the Pleiadian system, I will get a map so I can also see a little bit more what we are working from eventually. Let's see what kind of card or message the Pleiadian have for you, and let's see if we can connect to them. So this is a message to someone who also might have a strong position in the star sign of Virgo. You are an alchemist and you might now be relatively isolated. You are working. You are working and you have a brilliant mind, by the way. Some of you, there are some of you who do mathematics like it's shit, like it's nothing to you. I get the Hermit a lot. It really is the card of alchemy. So let's see what else is the message here. Okay. These ones are not shuffled properly. So properly. So let's see what jumps out. Let's see what jumps out. So while I shuffle the cards, there might be messages popping out for you because I have opened myself completely to this energy. I'm going to paint some UFO cool stuff. I have some art gear here. So maybe next time you'll see some cool UFO stuff. I just feel attracted to that cabin. So let's see, what kind of message do we have for people who have history with the Pleiadians? What kind of message do we have for those? Okay, there is something about this crystal. Something about this crystal. So do more research There is one guy, he said something about the crystals, but as soon as I looked at it, there is something about the crystal, and you need to take a better look at. You should get one or two or a big one. Perhaps ask the universe for permission, but there is something about this crystal that some of you have been working with crystals. I get the name Adar, if that has something meaning for you. Adar. So let's see. Okay, that was a bunch. It's too much. So note that we live multidimensional lives all at the same time, and all we have is here and now. And so I'm picking up on a lot of things. So if you connect to this channel in particular, also I can lure you into subscribing. But of course, if you feel that there is a strong connection between you and I, if you're not offended by my spooky Reaper look, then you are of course welcome to join this project and perhaps even contribute with what you see. I knew it was this guy all along, so why the bother? So there is something about music. What I get here, first of all, is that some of you will experience, some of you chose music as a profession simply because you are working directly with vibration. We also have the number 33 here, which is very sacred. 33 vertebrae, 33 degree masonry, 33 years old. Jesus died, apparently. It equals a 6, which is a reference to Gemini or the lovers. This is also about Musa Allegra. It's the happy muse. Okay, some of you are basically here to inspire other through the music and the vibrations that you create. But you also have a small trickster in you. Some of you can have a deep connection and love for cats, and also there is something about the color green here. The color green, you know, is 528, the heart chakra frequency. So that's why we also find it in the nature everywhere. It's activating the chlorophyll or something like that, or the photons, God knows. But the message for you, my darling Pleiadian, is something about use of this crystal. Charge it. And I also get that you might have benefits from using green crystals or emerald. So you're someone, as you can see here, you're also a painter. Many of you are very artistic. So I know I have a connection to the Pleiadian system. It's also showing up in my astrological chart. I don't know what connection they have to the tall Nordic, if there are any connection at all. So let me see. We have quite the gang here. Feel free to comment below. Would make me happy. So let's continue, shall we? Many of the messages here might be resonating more of them or only a few of them might resonate. So this will be very random. The dice will decide and the cards will pull through what we need. Okay, so the second group here. Okay. So the infinity symbol, are you aware of the infinity symbol? It's very powerful. So I will share the knowledge for this. This is specifically for those of you who are under the influence of Scorpio or the 8th house. You have placement in the 8th house or placement in Scorpio, or you have strong connections with the planet Pluto. And the infinity symbol was shown to me by some demiurge while I was dancing. It revealed itself during a trance. And as a dancer for many years, I become easily a vessel for other entities who really take joy in me doing those moves. And they would show to me this infinity symbol. And so this is what the Iyaki teaching is built upon, which I want to share with you if I can manage to reach the top of the Mount Everest, you know, the allegorical Mount Everest. So the symbol goes like this, and the message was as following. When you understand that when you are dancing or you're doing martial art, this is how you move, okay? As you can see here, we work as a snake. It's also a snake symbol. Sometimes if you see here in tribal fusion, we are lifting the shoulder, and each component of the joints are isolating themselves. So we basically have brought break dance back into motion, but it's a snake-like move. It's a snake-like energy, and the universe that consists of waveform, you will see that you never need again, was the message, unless there is something specific you need to learn. When it comes to dancing or martial art, you perfect this symbol in all ways, and you will never, ever again, if you are on the dance floor and you feel, if you are a dancer, especially, or a martial artist, if you all of a sudden stop and start thinking, you're using your brain, what is the next step? You freeze. And I've had all eyes on me a few times, trust me. And your performance is being reduced because you're just doing some safe stuff, you know. The secret is less is more. This is for those of you out there who are dancers, or you're also working with very dark vibrations. And when you're working with very dark vibrations, we also use the stomping of the feet. It's like grounding the energies. Dum, bam, bam, bam. So you're creating a rhythm. And by creating this rhythm, you're also changing vibration. So by dancing and putting on the right kind of music, and you are, you know, if you can find one that can play for you and you can do the dancing, perfect team. Now, less is more as we dance. Dum, 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 dum. You can slowly just lift the hips a little bit, and you use that by controlling your knees. And slowly, slowly, you isolate certain body parts, and you will have, you know, after only, you know, I started when I was maybe 7 with Flashdance and Michael Jackson, and slowly, you know, we learned the break dance and all these kind of things. Today, you learn to isolate a certain body part, so in order to make it look like you are, you know, made of like a jellyfish. You turn into a jellyfish. And the secret, well, that is 8. That is the number 8. It is the infinity symbol. Just horizontal. So now you learn the greatest of secret, delivered to me directly from a demiurge. I personally believe that was the spirit of Shiv Natarash himself, because it was, but I can't say. I can't say, but it was shown to me and given to me as a key. So for now, 3 keys are given to me. Now I have shared with you one of those keys, the infinity key, and how you can actually use it in practicality. Of course, you can also use it in visualizations and these things. Now we will see if there is a specific message here for you. Except Scorpio, go out there and, you know, go Bruce Lee. Yes, guys, you're ninjas, and now I taught you something that is very precious to me, and some of you will get it right away. It's not that hard, but it's very logical, and it's very, it was, for me, it was a epic discovery, discovered too late. Kind of. I wish I knew it when I was competing in all those contests. I won most of them, by the way, so really, does it matter? So you have a message here from the deck that is called, yeah, whatever. It's called, yeah, whatever. Also, I want to share with you this message. To hold it up a little bit from you. This is Kali. So if you pay attention to my channel, I will do some reading upon it. There are so many different versions of Kali. But all her 3 eyes are open. Beautiful. She's blue. And so that itself is a message. Some of you might belong to the Blu-ray people, to the Blu-ray light beings, to the Blu-ray, yeah. And that means that you literally are blue because you emit your energy. You have a very high vibrational energy, and there is some stuff on the internet. There is not a lot of stuff about the Blu-ray people, but you might be one of us. That when you do strip yourself from your skin suit, you will see that, oh, I'm blue. Just like it now, I'm blue. I knew that I was blue long before Avatar came. I knew how is my skin is blue. But we are multidimensional, so there are also other versions of us. There is something here about the moon that you can learn from. This version of Mali is called Kaladhara. Okay, so if you want to read about this specific version of Kali, Kaladhara. Okay, And the reason I bring up the blue should be obvious. It's a fantastic artwork, by the way. Thank you, Carlos, again, for, you know, bringing all these beautiful cards to me. Let's see. So there is another message for you. Note that those of you of Taurus energy, now we have two opposing energies here, which is yin and yang. Note that this message, if you feel this resonates, you might have a, you know, a position in Scorpio as well, or you feel that, wow, I am, let's say you are a dancer, and obviously don't let yourself, don't isolate yourself. Now, power, huh? Eiketre, oak tree. So what is this? This is the empowering of the divine feminine. So basically and so in that case, these two women, they go well together. So if you are a feminine, the message is very simple. We are moving into a world now where the differences or the value of our genders are being equalized. That means that no gender should have any specific advantages over the other. We are different. I mean, a man should treat his pregnant woman with a little extra care, because she's, after all, carrying a lot of weight, extra weight, and that's quite the job. So I don't know if you can call me a feminist or not. That's not the point. But we are moving from, you know, like here in India, there is, especially if you go to Kerala, women are very, you know, they are not allowed to laugh out loud in public. They are not allowed to show their knees, but the men are allowed. So there are things will, you know, it's all about equilibrium here. But the number 8 also often depicted in tarot as justice. So many of you might feel now the energy that, you know, in the new world here, special message for you from the stars, from Starman. So the question is, why are you here? Some of you are here to push away the old doctrines. You basically, some of you could be born after 1987. You will therefore possess the energy also known as indigo. And after, I believe, 2005 or something, the crystal children, that you're fully indigo, and then the crystal children started to come in. So in 87, the hybrid of the indigos, and they are very warrior-like. The crystal people, they are a little bit different. How can I explain them? I did a reading upon them, but my brain is kind of pretty much on a meltdown right now. I think it is the weather change, like a large migraine. So you get the Lion's Gate, true love. So you are here. You now have the key. I have shown you the key. The key is not for me alone. It's not my personal possession. It was shown to me as knowledge, as a gift, and these kind of knowledges and gifts are here to share. So you are being shown here the Lion's Gate. Some of you could have some placement in Leo. But the Lion's Gate symbolizes true love. And what is true love? That's not the one you are crushing deadly on right now. Oh my God, I'm crushing so much on this individual. That is not true love. So some of you might have a connection to, I believe it's called Lyra. And there are some entities apparently who have a lion face. You will know, you will know. So again, we have number 8. So 8, the number 8, look out for it, because in this case, you can see here, the 8 is going around both the lions, and she is in between as a symbol. We often see this in esoteric symbolism also. There is a lying 8, there is a vertical stroke, and there are 1 or 2 strokes. I'm not sure if it's connected to the Luciferians or the Luciferian. Yeah, it's kind of different stuff. It has nothing to do with worshipping the devil or anything like that. It's another subject, basically. But the symbols are not owned by anyone. No one can come and say, like the Hebrews, Jews, they cannot come and claim the hexagram. We all have a hexagram field around us, which is called a star tetrahedron. It belongs to everyone. We all, each cell in your body, each component that you consist of, have a star tetrahedron. It is your own personal space vehicle. God, I miss my old group. We used to have a gathering like this once a month, and we talked about these things, and we also decoded our dreams. So there is something here about you and true love. I used Randonautica in India during the pandemic, and I said, show me true love. I was thinking, how is the Randonautica going to find out what true love is? And it took me to a gate that was pink with a lion on each. And I looked at it and I thought, Lion's Gate. Well, at that point, it was creepily spot on. Let's put it like that. I had a lot of love for someone who had a very strong, prominent Leo position in their chart. But true love is unconditional and has nothing to do with attraction, physical attraction in order to reproduce yourself. These are all hormones for you, so Mother Earth can make sure that, I don't know the point really, Who gives a shit? What? So there is another message here. Okay, there is something about the hand. And there is something about the Christ consciousness. We create with our hands. The heart is coming out from the hand. And there is this witchy hat flying out from it. So this is, 4 of Cups, and yet this individual is very deep down the drain. He's not in a good place. So what is Four of Cups? Well, first of all, four is all about creating a foundation, stability. Okay? And so when you create a foundation out of water, it's not easy, is it? But water, which many do not think about or are aware of, is the strongest conductor we have, along with certain other types. But I believe water is on top list of the strongest conductors to the spirit world. Okay, so when we are still in sea, inside mama's tummy, we are inside a water bubble and we breathe. We breathe the water. And when we are delivered to the docks. We are no longer lost at sea. And now, with some signing a paper and needle, they give you they give your baby some kind of a vaccine. They don't even ask. They just say, "Oh, this is against that." You have no information about it. And now your baby officially is being owned. People don't know that, but it's being owned unless you claim it. And there is a process for that. So most people, they don't know it, but we are cattle on someone else's stock market. Funny, huh? And you're worth quite a lot. Specific message for the people, for those of you who got Four of Cups. I see there was a lost opportunity in love here. The lesson here for you is to understand that this kind of unity is not something you find outside of you. It's simply a reflection of something that is already existing within you. So if you have a unified Shiva Shakti already within you, there will be no love drama in your life, except for those who jump around you like monkeys. And yeah, did I mention I was attacked by monkeys today? I think I know now what people mean. So yeah, still, we still love you. Still love you. You're forgiven. So yeah, Four of Cups. So we go from the Lion's Gate to the Four of Cups. It is in your subconsciousness. There is something here that it looks messy. It looks pretty messy. It's yeah, can we cheat a little bit and check out what yeah. Let's see. Unfortunately, I should get UFO cards, but you know, that's when we design them. What certain things you need to do on your own. So tell me, what does this person need to know about the Four of Cups? I'm a little bit curious about it. It's strong Cancerian energy. It is emotions that are very closed in, is what I get. Emotions that needs to come out, but there is a fear attached to it. We have a book here, and there is a child. So what do you know? 6, 7, 8. The book is an 8. So We will leave. We will leave this. We are going to leave this Four of Cups for now. Because this is that part of you that needs to be lifted up. But that it's not the point. You cannot lift all parts of you up into a higher density, because that's not what we are doing. We are lifting you up to lower density, lighter densities. And the thing is that what happens if we lift the entire tree? What will happen to the roots if you pull up a fully grown tree up from its wherever it is, and you decide you want to remove it from one place, you know, to the other side of the world? And the tree is very old. Will it survive? No, the tree needs to be where exactly it is, so it can continue to create its fruits or piñas or whatever it is, and seed the earth, so its small tiny little children can go back to the soil, which is, by the way, created by all sorts of creepy things, smelly things and creepy things, but it is the nourishment that you also consume. And so the journey might be very simple. You are being dropped from source. Mommy drops you, and you as a little seed, you are being dropped down to this dark world. And what happens? Well, you can sense the light, and slowly, slowly you grow up to become your own beautiful tree of life. Next group. By the way, there is something about book and knowledge here. I don't know what kind of book. The theme could be about communication. Gemini, lovers, something about the number three, whatever you connect with the number 3. I also get that some of you who are interested in alchemy might benefit from studying the Enochian language. Right now I have enough with Hindi, but we will see. Next group. Next group and last group, 3. So you will also get one of these funky, let's see if I can understand what it says at all. Okay. River spirits. So this is specifically, I get specifically for those of you who are aquatic sign, the spirit of the river. So something about an adventure. Some of you could have a strong placement in the 5th house, which is Leo. Now let's check out the message from the stars. I'm just now just comes on its own here. Yeah. So your magic is hidden within the water. Some have fire, some have air. We need all of them, but we are different. Some people are more, their magic is to bend water, basically. Water magic. And you could be Cancerian, Scorpio, or Pisces, I don't know. But the message here for you is to, and if you want, you can, I mean, if you're not far away from India, or if you're thinking about going somewhere, you can come to Bali right now and you can join me on a small trip. Pack your bags. Because I'm thinking, you know, if anyone interested, I want to see some real awesome stuff going on up here. We are very close to Mount Kailash, I believe, and you also know there's a lot of interesting stuff in this area, magical stuff. You also get the card Celebrate. So take a journey and celebrate. There is something here about that, about detaching from the iPhone. Easy for me to say, talking with one. So all three groups will get a Lemurian card. That does not necessarily mean that you are a Lemurian, but it will reflect some of the energies and the powers that you have brought with you here. So for the first group, second group already have from Starman. So for the first group, we have 3 of Cups. And we also have Ace of Swords. So you are actually what I just talked about. Someone who can find, it's like you are someone who gets, I have this idea. Oh, I have this idea. And you do research on water. You can also do research on what the cups represent, which is love. And as you can see here, they are working on some very cool alchemical stuff in a group. You need to give me this one. Because I know people who can channel, they're coming out here. Now I'm partly reading. Now, please excuse me. Let me see if I can channel the energies more, so you'll get a more. Okay. So you are already familiar with working with energies that are non-physical and turn them into something physical. You are chosen, some of you, because of your sense of logic and because of your sense of constantly coming up with brilliant ideas. I get the word watch out for distractions. Watch out for distractions. There could be a temptation here. Let me see, what else is this? Are we getting words? Now I'm getting the words directly to all the 3 groups. So some of you would already, speaking to some of you who are musicians here also, who have music perhaps on the side and art. So let's see. Okay, there is something about the sun here. I'm tempted to say look at the sun, but don't look at it, not like that. But there is something about the sun. Some of you are here to improve solar power, basically, or working with sun energy. It could also have something to do, I'm not sure, but it's something about centralization of the light, or of, we could talk directly about energy here. And now I'm not talking about hand-on kind of energy work. I'm talking about science here. I'm talking to someone here who are planted here to create a bridge between metaphysics and established science. I also get the word Lyra up again. I don't know why. It's a haunting word. I take it that we might have a strong, you know, this is a very Aquarian thing to do, you know. Second group message you already have from this stack of cards, but I'm going to give you two more. No, but you know what you do because you already have from the boys. So we'll give you from the archangels. So what is archangels? Well, as I mentioned before, there are 72 names of the god El, also known as the planet Saturn. So there are basically 72 facets of this ancient Hebrew god, Saturn. And this god is the lord of time, also known as Kronos, the god who swallowed his own children. He's known as the Lord of the Rings, and he is the one that challenges you, creates discipline. He is also the god the Phoenicians, specifically, I believe, and the Canaanites sacrificed their children to this god. It's been under many names. So, when you are summoning angels, what are you really summoning? Because we know Saturn is also known as the dark sun, the night sun. It's our own light sun's twin, apparently, in its own way, or a brother. And we know there's a story about two brothers, and they had some kind of conflict. And Saturn, well, I'm not sure I would miss the guy if he disappeared from but we will focus on the tarot cards and not necessarily the angels, because I question the construct of angels, which is very synonymous with angels. And so they have different vibrations of the god El. That's why we say Uriel, of God, healing of God, light of God, this of God, that of God, right? Michael being one of the most important one, or I don't know, Metatron or whatever. I was never really deep into the angel stuff, and with what we know now, that, well, the Hebrew Bible is based on a demiurge, a planet Saturn. And the angels that you please come and help me, they work for a Lord, which also have another name. It begins with S-A-T, sat, because it's saturated. It is in opposition to the true light. And therefore, it sounds so glorious, but first of all, angels, the way we have, the way we see them in these cards here, they don't look like that. If you read about how they look like, they look kind of creepy. So they are more of a, it's almost like a technical kind of installment, but they have consciousness, and they have very high consciousness. What to call them? Well, angel, angle. I think angle sounds more correct. A and G is related to the word wrath. Agni, anger, fire. L of God, Elohim, the gods. The 7 archons. Yeah. So basically the message here, and as you know, because we have angels of light, we also have the fallen angels. And their leader, known as Lucifer, who is the evil one, but who wrote the story. Of course, they will write the story in their favor, of course. If I'm going to write a story about me, if people have misunderstood some of the things I have done, I will simply explain it from my perception, without spending too much time on defending myself. So Lucifer is known as the great architect. He was the first one who left the great light, so we could explore and expand the dark and create more light. And his followers are known as the 72 princes of hell. The construct or the concept is also known as Goetia. So this is where we find the demons, also known as Beelzebubs, yes. And all Azrael, Azazel, this L and that L. And they are portrayed pretty horrifying, actually. But what we simply see here is a depiction of yin and yang. So the second group, you get 10 of water and 10 of air. 10, 10. Which equals an 11. Some of you are already ascended masters, and some of you are, you experienced here something that you feel is some kind of a betrayal. It can be from someone that you care a lot about, with the 10 of Cups here. They should be a little bit scared, because you know you coming up here with that Kali face, and you have this power. So, and you also are one of the keepers of the Lion's Gate here, making sure that bitches and hoes and foes are not letting into the true light. But this is a symbol. Okay, last message. I can't even remember what I was talking about. It must really have been a channeling. Oh yeah, Saturn. All right. All right. All right. All right. So you really are, you could have strong connection to the elementals. You could even be an entity of the ocean. I have a parallel self that I consider to be the entity of the ocean, as I had a fishtail. I was in an astral journey, whatever you call it. It felt more real than sitting in this chair, actually. And what we were doing was actually this, our job was to keep up the vibration in the ocean. And that was also when I was given the first key 15 years ago. And I had a red tail. The boss, the lady, had the elderly lady, she had also a red tail, and I was her apprentice. And we had a bunch of young teenage children with us. They were all girls. They had blue tails. And what we were doing in the ocean, there was this plant there, and we were making sure it was almost like a symbiosis between us and the plant. Like we were showing the plant, or making sure that the plants and everything around in the ocean was vibrating correct. Just like the whale. And I can't believe my own eyes or what I experienced. Like, what the fuck? You are on a journey, and I recognized it as an astral journey. They are pretty rare now these days, unfortunately. And I have to be honest with you, I haven't exactly believed in mermaids and unicorns in that sense. So finding myself in the ocean with a bunch of other ladies as number second with the red tail, just like the boss. It was amazing. And in the next sequence, we would float through the sky in the shapes of birds, phoenix-like birds, very slowly, not flying. It was like, you know, there was no gravity, so we didn't have to use any force. And in the end, we all gathered, big group. It was like the, you know, the end of the school, the end of that year or whatever, you know. Then this woman gave to me a key, which she called the morph key, the key to morphing. And yes, I've learned a few things about that morph key since that. It's not as effective on what we perceive as physical matter as it is where you use your mind, right? And you can manipulate your energies and vibrations in a room or around people or around an animal. I have to admit, you can also disappear with this key in a manner. It's incredible what that key can do. I can't wait to see what it does when I'm really done with the task here. By the way, those of you who got the book, there is something here for you, abundance. That if you have 10 of coins, that is connected to that book. So there's something about that book, some information that might lead to a very high form of abundance. Now, group 3, I see tears here, and that you might leave behind. I see tears, and I see 2 different entities here. I see one crying and one skull. Skål för fan. Thank you. 9 of Cups. Emotionally independence. So you've been here learning about grief. And learned how to see. Your process is still on, by the way. Not all of you understand that you can't lose anyone or anything. Your iris is working as a black hole in the universe. It's absorbing the light and the information. And it's being, of course, processed by the brain, and then the information again is being sent by neurons to the heart or something like that. I don't have to speak in those terminologies, but the heart will then respond to the knowledge that is perceived from one angel, or can I say angle now? Something was removed or taken away from you which was not good for you. It's not, I get a message, it's not time yet. The time is not right yet. So in the meanwhile, you are being showered with emotionally abundance, and when you have this kind of abundance, it's usually also reflected in the outer field as 9 of coins. I see some of you here. You also, so this is your process right now on old earth. This is you when the process is considered as done according to our way of measuring timelines chronologically. And as you can see here, you have achieved the 9 levels of consciousness. You see all the sacred geometry here, the Fibonacci spiral, even the reptilian here is just like in the King of Wands, I believe, walking by your feet, where you are the queen, and it's almost like you have a halo around you. You basically have managed to transform or be the alchemy of water and transform this energy into a superpower, into the new you, male or female, doesn't matter, but you in the new earth. So let's pull one more Kali card. Maybe we will be happy with just reading Kali Kapali. Ooh, that's a badass one. Okay, so we will finish with one Kali. I don't know if we can put her here. No, she will fall, or she might be fine. So number 8. Oh my God, what is it with number 8 today? Find out soon enough. Okay, so 8. Aha! No, it's not the Durga Kalika, that is something else. Kali Kapali. So I can't read it all, of course, it's too much. She who wears the mala of skulls around her neck shall never abandon you. She shall be with you always, lifetime after lifetime, in unending tenderness and devotion, conquering that which would alienate you from your truth and creative power. Trust in the effectiveness of your prayers and requests for her assistance. Have confidence in divine intervention, no matter how dire things may seem. You shall transform a negative experience into a positive one that honors your soul. So the Kapali is the wearer of skulls, and the Kapala Mala or Skull Mala. I actually have one beautiful right there in plastic. So yeah, that is it. And you can get Kali skulls like here in India everywhere. No, not everywhere. Not in this town. The one I got was plastic. But I already, where I'm going now to Nepal, I always buy some skulls. It's a Scorpio thing, I suppose. But it's a mala, and it is used to call in the strengthened divine presence by using sacred sounds, repeating mantras or prayers while counting the beats. So you are encouraged to speak to her from your heart about whatever is troubling you. She will do whatever it takes to release you from your suffering. Kali Kapali, she will be my friend tonight. I've never really prayed a lot to Kali. I just bow before the Kalari training. But I perceive her. She is actually Shani. She is also Saturn, the cube. She is matter, physical. She is everything that is physical in the world, dense. She is Parvati. She is the wife of Shiva, who is Shiv. Shiv, this sound, shiv, shiv. It's like the wind, it's spirit. Ka, meaning mouth, meaning many things, meaning darkness, meaning cube, and Li, also meaning ascension. So she has many meanings to her name. Is in fact the very illusion and the cube we are living inside. And she's a ruthless mother. She's Mother Nature, but she is our mother. And she have to give her a little. She have to give us a little spank sometimes when we are being naughty. But yeah, my fascination for her will be my own, I suppose. But the messages that are in the book are completely amazing. So if you're interested in buying the book, it's made by Alana Fairchild, Kali Oracle Guidebook, and it is printed by Blue Angel. So the pictures are just wonderful, but it's not for the faint at heart. It's more fun than reading about angels. If you see it like this, we're talking about angel, and where Kali also is Saturn, the Lord of the Rings, because it's all about matter. She is also the mother of time. Then all these 72 angels, they are her bitches. Now that's something to think about. Cool, huh? All the things that she have done for us. Okay, guys, I didn't get a lot of ET stuff, but I'm going to work on it. study it and get perhaps more cards that are more related. If you know about reptilian tarot cards, please notify me. I'll find an address and get it sent to me. Or other kinds of ET, alien kinds of stuff. I would love to know more about it. I have to admit, I have been separating myself a little bit out from the UFO community because I feel that the journey inside is far more important than standing and waiting for a UFO to take all your sorrows away. You need to have a high consciousness and vibration in order to even being accepted close to some of these other entities that they are around you all the time. You just don't see it because you are that tiny little insect. You see the insect doesn't have any idea of what this giant, and also if you think about time, also how we move. If a little insect sees us that lives only one day, how we move, we are literally just mountains to that little bug. It's funny, huh? Okay, guys, this was a different kind of read. I hope you got something from it. It is an initiation of having a separate channel with more galaxies and farscapes, and not all will be about cards. Yeah, and that's that. By the way, there are new videos up. You can check them out. Hope you dig them. And thank you so much for all of those of you who are liking and subscribing to my channel. It would be really, really cool to get 1K followers. I would feel really powerful just by that alone. And then I get an excuse to talk even more. Talk until someone's ears are falling off and no one can stop me. So yes, now you know what you can use the infinity symbol for. Some of you know perhaps a few things, why you are here, what you can do, your powers. I was hoping for a little bit more, but I'm still fresh in this area, so we will see. I know what I am, but I also have a lot more to learn from. I really am, and I would love to learn more about what you are, although it's quite difficult to label it, isn't it? Namaste, my beautiful moonlights. I love you so much, and I hope you enjoyed it. Catch you on the flip side.